Oh, they are going to head up the hill. They find Jules first. That's a little bit sweeter, but Bimbo's gotten off a really nice nuke there from the Bail, and now they move on to Bulldog. The Exorcism coming. He's got a double Spirit Siphon. They cannot fight him head on. They're trying to kill off the backliners, but they've already lost two. Big cores hitting the deck, and Loda coming next. EGM choke down. That's going to be 3. ManilaMajor pushing for 4. Loda might be next. Just need one more auto attack. He turns his back. He heads for the hills. The wave of terror's there. They get him in the Sprout. They need that bench stun to complete it. The Quill stack up, but it's not enough. It's 4 down. Necro will finish off one lingering MSKI hero while Bimbo chases forward. That's 1. Angry Potato. He does the Yules. Doesn't need it. It's a wipe. MSKI cleaning up there. It did cost them a buyback, but well worth it. So there's a Yules here down at the bottom rune. It looks like we might have some action breaking out. Snowball forward onto S4. He blinks back. Oh, Jules. Lucky he didn't end up on the wrong side of that hill, but they're still hunting him. They roar. They commit, and that will end up being a dieback. So Jules, a bridge too far for him. He does go down. Speaking of which, there is a Manta up here on Ben-Hur, so he's absolutely fine against the Sorkin, and they continue to chase Bulldog. A bit lucky there, or unlucky with the charge rather, for Jules. And to the north side, the Queen of Pain ult comes through, but Raging Potato relatively healthy. Ben-Hur on the run. The Ghost chasing him back. Very discombobulated from MSKI. They are going to lose the Potato potentially here. Throws out the Yules, but Jules will fall. It could be him next as the stolen Exorcism goes to work. EGM completely wrecking MSKI. 3 hitting the deck. The Nature's Prophet has the teleport into the pit, ready to go. The entire MSKI squad are just bulldozing in already. Raging Potato has popped the ultimate, but he gets pushed onto the high ground by Ake. Not completely caught out, but is isolated from the fight, and they manage to get the Aegis here. S4 and Loda now feeling very confident to move in. There's the roll forward. On to Bulldog. Raging Potato still working, but it's on to Loda. He's very tanky. Not an easy hero to bring down another Spirit Siphon. He shrugs it off. This Crimson Guard doing work as Bacarino will end up going down. The Nature's Prophet hits the deck, and MSKI, they do see some stragglers here, but they're very tanky ones. Can they really kill off Loda? This Bristleback is not an easy grab. They're going to try. They silence S4. They roll onto him. They turn for the Queen of Pain. She's caught out. One more swipe. There's the Aegis down, but EGM sitting on the backside of this fight, just looking for spell steals, looking for a way to salvage it. S4 blinking back, and MSKI chasing forward. The Sprout ends up catching them in. EGM keeping them out of the fight, and Loda desperately juking through the trees, getting nuked down bit by bit. They finally, almost, not quite. They want to slay that beast, but he's still alive in the trees. These quills are too much. Kill that Armadillo, MSKI. There they go. Finally bringing him down, but it comes at cost. They've spent so long on the Bristle that Alliance get to clean up a few on the back lines. It ends up being 4 MSKI heroes dead. When the dust settles in Alliance, they race forward bottom. If nothing else, all the lanes will be shoved in. Alliance will be able to get some deep wards down, potentially go for that tier 2 top, but screw that, they say. We see an opening here. About 20-30 seconds before the Exorcism's even up, and they jump on S4, but he pops the BKB. He silences Ben-Hur, lifting him up. Roar is there, but there's the swap from Cass to try and save him. S4 hunting deep. Can he get the kill? Ben-Hur is angry. He wants some vengeance. Can't find it, though. They've already lost the Venge. Just respawn back to the grave. They repel the push, but it's another free kill for Alliance as the Nature's Prophet ult splashes through. They're running up the hill. They're scouted by that dire ward. They're streaming towards the pit. Alliance setting up the ambush. It's going to be a good Keeper of the Light nuke to start, and they've caught out the Raging Potato. They have to save this Death Prophet. They snowball her forward into the middle of the entire Alliance squad. Juggernaut on the rescue. The Exorcism going back the other way. EGM, though, fairly squishy. Has to be careful not to go down. MSKI lurching in, eager for combat as S4 looks for the flank. He is going to get eyes here on Bacarino. The Silence coming out, trying to burst down the MP. They do kill off EGM. Stolen Exorcism gone, and Loda could be next. Not quite finished off though, just so damn tanky, but they slow him down again, and there's the perk from the Jug. MSKI made it too. Buyback available on that Bristle if they want to pop it. Bulldog in the trees, make it 3 for MSKI, and the Roche almost certainly theirs unless Alliance blow a hell of a lot of buybacks. MSKI will have the full arsenal aside from possibly the Omni Slash, ready to go, and the siege commences. It's Jug out in front, 30 seconds on his ultimate. Raging Potato close behind. How do Alliance counter this? They're not split pushing. They've come home to defend. There's the Glyph, a fresh Sprout, waiting for that next round of Triant. Slow and steady for MSKI, but they do have the Blink Abyssal on the Jug, so at any moment he could go for an assassination here, and Exorcism is now committed. They run forward on the Loda. There's the punch, spinning on him, laying into him with the Ghost. They want to kill Loda, and by golly, they will, but the Nature's Prophet is the cost. So far 1-for-1, and they've got the power play now as Loda buys back. MSKI looks like they may need to retreat. They've also lost their Aegis. Raging Potato, Stadium's grab, and a beautiful blinding light by Ake pushes them away from the team. Ben-Hur's back in. Potato wants to be as well. If they can kill Loda, that's a dieback. But there comes S4 unwinding with the Sonic Wave. Will slay another. Death Prophet down for 70. Alliance holding and returning fire. There's the Shivas. The goo comes out, and down goes the third. MSKI have overplayed their hand. Alliance hold the high ground. It seems pushing is very hard this game.
Oh, man.
The animation canceled it a couple of times there, wanted to ensure that it snagged the kill, and indeed here it did. As Loda gets caught out, remember, that's the dieback if he goes down. It's very important they keep the personal back alive, but fortunately, Loda is insanely tanky as he continues to deal with all of the nukes and attacks being thrown his way, and now the roar comes out onto Valkyrie. Great swap back by Cass to save the day. Jules up in the air, Bender on the run, Alliance so far routing MSKI. They bring down two. MSKI could be on their last legs here. Here's Bulldog with the refresher, finds the roar, but it's Raging Potato to the rescue. He'll at least stop the bleeding for now, but they have lost that first and potentially decisive later frags. MSKI not out of it yet. They will get the Bulldog kill, down for 70. Exorcism again deployed, and the siege round billion commences. They swap to start this one off. Chad does catch out Loda. This could be the dieback. Alliance need him. He runs. The snowball's in deep. Perhaps a bit too far. Bakarina's gonna pay. Jules has dragged them into trouble, but S4 is getting beaten down by Ben-Hur. Raging Potato in very deep. Remember, he's got buyback, but he really doesn't want to have to use it. The Exorcism goes. Again, they lay into Loda. Man needs tagging, but snowball number 2, not enough. This actually falls a good choice. The sharks trapped him in, but these 4 steps from Alliance, keeping them in the fight, keeping them in the game. MSKI has pretty much unloaded their entire arsenal, and they have to run again. Bench down, Tusk as well, dead for a minute. Will MSKI lose more? Dropping the silence here, Raging Potato, he tries for the TP out. Is there anything else to cancel this? No, siree.
Nice.
The sigil flies high above the MSKI forces, and in comes Death Prophet. Once more under the breach. Will the third time, maybe the 5th time be the charm? They started off with a swap, 4 steps and blinding light all over the place, but will be able to re-engage here. Still at full HP. Loda, though, really hurting. Even with the Spirit Slicing, Raging Potato struggling to bring him down. On the south side of the fight, though, they have isolated X4. They're going to Omni Abyssal him into submission, but now Raging Potato drops. No buyback. The all-in is backfired. Alliance hold, and now they push out. Bulldog on the chase. He's got the Hawk flying high. Hunting the Nature's Prophet through the trees. Goes for the self-sprout. Are they ready for this? They got the lift. They get the kill. Alliance have brought down 3, none of them with buyback, and they may just march down mid.
That was effectively a 5v10. All 5 Alliance heroes had buyback.
Death Prophet 10 seconds away, and even when she's back, she won't have the Exorcism for a couple more, but there's the ult on the Jules. He's down. Alliance in the lower bracket fighting not only for their ManilaMajor lives, but perhaps their TI invite ones as well, are staying the course. They get the Spirit Siphon off on Loda. They continue to press forward. Raging Potato just surging into the entire enemy team here, but EGM sitting far back. That's possible. Alliance certainly has shown they can do it on the MP. They sprout out Loda to start. They're going to continue to try and bring down this Bruiser in the front line, but it's too late for the melee racks. That as well has fallen. 2 melee racks down, arranged in the mid, and possibly another soon to drop in the mid lane. Or the bottom lane, rather. They move forward, purging Loda, hacking away, but it's very slow work, and Loda does it much quicker. One swing of that mace, dropping the jug rapidly. They'll reset. The wave has joined them. They continue to just pummel the entire enemy squad and their band of heroes with the Keeper of the Light Nukes, healing themselves up, dropping MSKI down in these long, prolonged, sustained engagements. Alliance, they just seem to outlast them thus far.
They've got Healing Ward. Ichin just keeps stealing these big spells. He's had to swap for like 5 minutes. Now he's got a Healing Ward up his sleeve. This is just getting too much for MSKI to deal with.
They just can't deal with Loda. He's got 4 supports right now, it feels like. Everyone stands behind him. The Beast will see you through. And now he finds Jules a bit out of position. There's the Hex to start the spin. For what little it'll do, will follow on the Loda, and Raging Potato's in deep. 4 step back to try to protect him. Glimmer as well, but he's basically on an island here. He needs some help from the squad. Alliance. Oh, a pause.
But here we go. Things get back underway. We'll hop back into the game.
A moment to breathe for MSKI, but they've got to be very halting, tentative breaths. Well, Loda, they couldn't kill him once in the last fight, and now they've got to deal with S4 having two. Wall sitting in the back lines. He will get sprouted out for the time being. The Spirit Siphon is doing a lot of work. Egypt just sitting back, waiting for good spells to steal, and suddenly Loda's back up to full HP as they heal from the Keeper of the Light, continue to rain in. They punch S4 up in the air, but that's a hero they got to bring down, not once but two times. They lose Jules. There's the Queen of Padal, and they rush forward onto the Potato Alliance. Get the raid drag. They might get more. Bimbo can't afford to die here, but die he will. Out for 80. He has a buyback, but he doesn't have an exorcism, and this time Alliance might just skip and go straight for the throne. They had the stolen exorcism once more. EGM lets it loose. Churning through MSKI buildings. Banging on the front door. Nobody's home for MSKI. They just can't withstand the onslaught. Loda just stands and fights, and MSKI can't take the punishment. Heroes are falling. Buildings are crumbling. The end times are here for the Filipino squad. Down goes the melee. The range is all that remains, and a frantic rat game begins. But Alliance know how to deal with that. The Nature's Prophet heads to the top side, but it's far too late, it feels. Alliance are just going to stick around mid. They can't even easily get a full lane of Rags top. Will Ben-Hur be able to turn the tides? He does get the stun off on S4, but S4 jumping away, and now they have Matt to catch on the MP. Oh, actually gets the...
It's not making snap a difference. Pocket perhaps going to look for the EGM kill, but it's too late. He's committed, and Bulldog buying back.
And they're lurking on Aki. They do bring him down as well. That's two down, but another buyback is ready, and they haven't even chosen to spend it yet. MSKI had the upper hand. This time, though, Loda manages to beat 3 heroes down, including the Bulldog death, but also having buyback is Loda. Alliance just making the right calls.
It looks like, why do we need to defend? There is an exposed throne almost.
Do MSKI go for the enemy throne here? They're going to pop Exorcism. They're turning for Rax. It's just not happening fast enough for them.
LD.
Somebody has to go home, but sitting back to cancel team. Potato says screw it. It's all in on the throne. They said I'm only to toss the stall, but is it really enough? The throne dropping. Quickly it falls, and S-Blake to the left with one last throw of the dagger. Down goes the throne. And Alliance move on. They survive. MSKI eliminated here at the ManilaMajor in front of a hometown crowd. A brutal way to go out, but it does set the stage for a Na'Vi versus Alliance showdown in the lower bracket.